Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are taking a look at the Master League Classic Edition. I'll be honest, I really haven't played much Master League since probably about Season 3, but I tried it out today because I was a little sick of Love Cup, and I absolutely loved it. I was running a team consisting of Excadrill in the lead, now that it has Mudshot, Giratina Altered, which is Best Buddied, and Dragonite. It's a variation off a team that Mark's son IRL showed me, so I will link his channels in the description. And the main goal of the team is to safe swap the Giratina to bait out their best dragon counter, so that way the Dragonite can sweep in the back. And it's a team that honestly worked super well for me. Despite only winning 7 leads out of 20 games, I was able to win 14 out of those 20 games. So it worked super well. So how I'm breaking down the video is I'll have a couple battles with different leads that I saw and how I like to play them. So to start, we'll take a look at positive leads. So a Melmetal lead, and this is actually 2-0 Butters' famous team. That is the Melmetal, Dialga, and Dragonite. Excadrill is a core breaker for this team, so I'm in a really good spot right off the jump. I'll be honest, neither one of my back 2 Pokemon want to see Dialga, so I'm going to stay in here with Excadrill, and since I have an energy lead, I can shield once, get both of their shields, and kill it with a Drill Run, because this is an absolutely commanding matchup for Excadrill. All I have to do is shield this Iron Head, then I'm able to get to the Drill Run, and this is going to be able to take out the Dialga. We're in a good spot here. They bring back in the Melmetal, and they try and catch. I don't let them catch, and I'm going to counter with my own Dragonite. From this point, the game's basically over. We can survive a Dragon Claw, and I'm going to be able to get to a Dragon Claw of my own. Here, I actually don't want them to get extra farm, so I undercharge it, so that way they have almost no health, and I'm able to Mudshot down. I have a ton of energy, and my opponent leaves the match. And so a very good game to my opponent there. As you can see, Excadrill is a problem for all 3 of those Pokemon. And I did see this team twice, so here's the second game with this team, but they played a little differently. This time they actually try and catch the Drill Run onto Dragonite. They're unsuccessful. Dragonite's save swap is a little harder to deal with, to be honest. I go for the Rock Slide. That does land. I try and catch onto my Giratina. Unfortunately, I'm a little slow, so I will have to eat a Dragon Claw. So what I'll do is I'll build up to 2 Rock Slides and switch out into the Giratina. I will have to eat a Dragon Claw, but I should be able to get to my own Dragon Claw, which is going to be enough to take out this Dragonite. I do overfarm by 1, just to give myself the comfort of knowing that I'll be sure to make a move versus this Dialga, and I am able to get to the Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to 2, but I will at least be able to apply a little pressure and get it into Drill Run range. Now it is in Drill Run range, and I have 2 loaded, so I'm going to be able to go back-to-back here, either getting both of their shields or completely destroying this Dialga. Either way, they're in a tough spot, to be honest. And they decide to double shield, and they swap into their Melmetal. I can shield here. They have no reason to not throw a superpower, which they do, and I'm just going to farm up to 2. I can double shield pretty comfortably, and then I'm going to go for back-to-back Drill Runs. Yep, back-to-back Drill Runs. Since their defense is 2-stage debuff, this will KO the Melmetal, and I'm pretty sure Dialga has a move I try and catch. Unfortunately, the game didn't let me switch out, which is not ideal. The Iron Head is going to take me out, and I come in with Dragonite. However, I am going to be able to get to the Dragon Claw, which is going to be enough to take them out. So even though I did have a bit of a misplay towards the end, we are still able to take the game. And hopping into the third game here, and this is a Melmetal lead, but a different backline. So we'll check that out here. Again, Melmetal lead, but this time a more difficult backline. They have Snorlax coming in, and I'm going to instantly go into Dragonite. My swap there was a little slow. As I play the team more, a faster swap is going to mean an easier secondary matchup. But if they choose to play out the Zero Shield and you go straight Dragon Claw, then you're in a good spot. I go for the Claw, they let it go, so at this point, I'm pretty confident they're wanting to play out the Zero Shield, and that works out great for me. I do throw here, and they are going to let this go, and that way they can give their Melmetal some farm. However, I'm in a really awkward health range. It's going to be difficult to Thunder Shock down, so I'm actually going to be able to get to the Hurricane, which is going to be doing a ton of resisted damage. The Hurricane lands. Unfortunately, the Melmetal is loaded. Since it has this much energy, I go into Giratina, because Giratina can take a hit a lot better than Excadrill can. So we're just going to absorb these Rock Slides, and my opponent I'm guessing had a Kyogre in back and conceded the match. So good game to my opponent there. All right, Excadrill into Dialga. This is another phenomenal lead that you'll see quite a bit. Excadrill has an absolutely commanding matchup. They safe swap into Giratina Origin, and I'm going to counter swap with my Dragonite. Even if they Shadow Ball here, I can take it. It's totally fine. Not worried about that. And I'm going to overfarm by a bit and go for a Dragon Claw. As you can see, the Shadow Ball doesn't kill me, and I'm able to pretty comfortably win the Zero Shield versus Giratina, even though my switch was a little slower than I'd prefer. Unfortunately, not able to get to the Dragon Claw, but I come in right away on this Dialga because it is still locked in. I do want to shield up the Iron Head just because Excadrill is pretty glassy, even in the Master League, to be honest, but my goodness, is it a beast. We have back-to-back drill runs. Now, they're either going to have to give up their last shield or their Dialga. We'll see what they decide to do. They give up the Dialga, and they have a Togekiss in the back, and we're in a really good position here. This Rock Slide is probably going to get the shield. And here I build up to 1 before, and I'm going to switch into my Giratina. At this point, with Shadow Sneaks, if I can just get it to about 50% health, then I'm going to be able to win this game with a Rock Slide, and we won't have to worry about it. At this point, my opponent's only win condition is a boost, so they're going to be going for quite a few Ancient Powers. Fortunately, the boost gods do not bless them on this day, so Ancient Power coming through, and at this point, there's not even really a point to throwing that charge move. They try and catch on the Dialga. I saw it coming, so I didn't throw, and I'm able to get to the Rock Slide, and that's going to be enough to take out the Togekiss and give us the game. So as you can see, with a Dialga lead, the game is honestly really, really straightforward. Dialga lead number 2. This is fantastic for us. The thing you have to watch for is often a lot of Dialga leads will try and catch your move. You can see they do try and catch onto Togekiss. Togekiss switch in is tough because I have 2 dragons in the back, but watch how I play this. I land the Rock Slide, and then I actually switch into Giratina, and I'm going to Shadow Claw all the way down. This way, they're able to do a ton of aggregate charm damage, but on top of that, then their Dialga does not get a lot of farm off of my Giratina, and if I'm very lucky and I'm good at denying Dragon Breaths, I can get to 3 Dragon Claws versus this Dialga, which is really going to hurt. 1, 2, okay, we're able to stack those back to back. The third one's going to be a stretch. It's honestly going to be tough, and we're able to get to the third one. That is absolutely huge. And that gets that Dialga exceedingly low. Okay. They go for a charge move here. At this point, I'm honestly willing to shield and then probably just Mud Shot down. They switch out into their own Giratina Altered. And from here, this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back to back on my drill runs to get the shield. And hopefully either get some health or get the second shield. Oh, they double shield. Interesting. And then I'm going to go into my own Dragonite. The game is not over yet by any means, but we are in a good spot. Dragonite does have a good matchup versus Giratina Altered. They go for a second charge move. Again, I'm going to let this go. My win condition is with Excadrill, which is quite healthy in the back. I do land the Dragon Claw. They switch into the Dialga. They were afraid of being outpaced. And I come in with the Excadrill. I'm able to Mud Shot down. Giratina comes back, and we're able to get to a Drill Run. And Drill Run is going to be enough to take out the Giratina Altered and to give us the game. As you can see, as I mentioned, Dialga leads basically just followed the switch, and even if they had a Togekiss switch in, we were able to handle it. All right, they instantly switch out into Groudon. I counter swap into Dragonite, and they did not like the look of that, so they left the match. Easiest match I had today, I'll take it. A good game to my opponent there. They just did not want to deal with that team comp. All right, Excadrill into Dialga again. I do like to overfarm here because, as you can see, yep, they try and catch on the Giratina. I'm able to switch into Dragonite, and we're able to go for the Dragon Claw. This is going to be applying a ton of damage. As you can see, it gets it super low. And now I can safely no-shield this. They're probably going to Ominous Wind to give their Dialga more opportunity to farm. Yep, that's exactly what they do. I'll at least be able to get to 1 Dragon Claw here. 2 may be a stretch because, my goodness, does Dialga chunk. Alright, we're not going to get there. Nope. But they're still locked in, so we can come in with the Excadrill and either kill them or pressure that last shield. and they just let Dialga go. Oh my goodness, they have Kyogre, we have Giratina with the shield advantage, and my opponent concedes the match. So with Dialga leads, and with good leads in general, if you're able to maintain switch advantage with this team, you're going to be in a really, really good spot. Now let's take a look at bad leads, like Kyogre, for example. We have two answers for this, so we're going to go in with our Giratina into their Dialga. And this was one of the first matches that I did play with the team, and I believe this is a match that I do actually end up losing. So we'll take a look and see what caused me to lose. Right away, this shield is not the greatest. If they match shields, we're okay, but if they choose to give me switch advantage, being down shields is honestly tough for this team. For this team in a loss lead, I would rather lose the secondary matchup and give Excadrill extra energy than, yeah, as you can see, Kyogre is going to be able to farm me down. This is going to be rough. And so Kyogre ends up being the one that has a ton of extra energy instead of me. So we'll actually be in a tough spot here because I actually took switch advantage back at the expense of shields. I have to bring in the Dragonite and I have to call no Blizzard here. I can't afford to give up my last shield. They go for a Thunder. What do they have in back? And it's a Giratina. I have an Excadrill, and we're in a really, really tough spot here. Oh my goodness. With Kyogre, had we kept even shields and gotten Excadrill extra energy, then Dragonite would have been able to close this match endgame. But without it, there's just not really a lot that we can do here. Granted, we can shield and we can probably farm down, and we'll be able to make this game close. As they go for the boost, they're not able to get it. We're able to farm them down, and here I make another mistake. You don't want to throw, they get a waterfall through. Oh my goodness. There were myriad mistakes in this match, and they're able to get to the move that does take me out. And as you can see, that match cut off right there. Oops. All right, Excadrill into Kyogre. Now let's see if I can play this match a little better. And they're actually going to counter with Togekiss. Okay. And so this is a similarly constructed team where they have Kyogre. Kyogre is obviously going to be weak to a lot of the dragons, so they have a dragon cover in Togekiss. Here, I am going to shield this because I do want to see if I can pressure them. Although the difference in this match is my opponent actually decides to match shields. This is a lot better for me. So this way I can lose switch advantage, but I can put this Togekiss into Mudshot farm down range, which is honestly a really good spot because my opponent may be able to get to an Ancient Power, but they can't get to the Flamethrower, and Excadrill with energy is absolutely disgusting. Okay, so watch this. We have two drill runs. These are neutral, and Kyogre is bulky. Look at the damage there. And then going for a second one, this is going to get Kyogre deep into the red. We're able to switch into Dragonite, and they have Dialga in the back. This is still going to be a tough fight, but we still have a decent amount of health left on our Excadrill, so we should be okay here. They're going to go for an Iron Head, and we are going to shield this up. Overfarm and go for a Dragon Claw. And here, I believe my opponent still had some play, but they just decided to take the Dragon Claw and end the match. They were not confident in their ability to win. I still think that it would have been close, but they decided to leave the match, so that works out. Okay, Ho-Oh leads. Ho-Oh leads are actually really bad for this team because unlike Melmetal, the aggregate Incinerate damage just kills. So they are really, really tough. And like with Kyogre, the first match I'm going to show is how I played a Ho-Oh lead, and I believe I lost. And then we're going to take a look and see how I was able to play it a bit better and win in the future matches. All right, Dialga lead. Dialga switch in, and we are going to shield their Iron Head, and we're going to go for a Dragon Claw. And they actually do match shields here, which works. Unfortunately, I'm actually able to get, because they were a little slow on their switch, into another Dragon Claw. So I'm able to take switch, but this is actually not good because you know what's coming in? Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is going to be able to incinerate down, and there's not a lot of Pokemon who want to see an absolutely loaded Ho-Oh. Brave Bird and Earthquake are absolutely devastating. All right, and they are capped at energy, so I am going to shield up the Brave Bird. One more incinerate to a second one. I'm able to catch it onto Excadrill where it's resisted, but Excadrill is quite squishy. Look how much this does. Oh, does so much. and I mess up my timing. They're able to get an extra Incinerate in, and that extra Incinerate is going to cost me the game, unfortunately. Giratina comes out. I have quite a bit of energy on my Dragonite, so I was thinking, hey, maybe I can still pull this off. Dragon Claw comes through. They are able to get to the Shadow Ball, and from here they just need to get to an Ominous Wind. I'm counting. I have to throw there to CMP them on the Ominous Wind, and then it's going to be a race to see if I can get to the move, and I end up losing. So not ideal. Ho was able to get extra energy because I actually won switch advantage and I let an extra Incinerate through. So the combination of those two mistakes did cause me to lose the game. Next match, Excadrill into Ho-Oh. Again, I am bailing out of here into my Giratina. And they're going to counter swap into Dialga. And I'm going straight for the Dragon Claw. This isn't the most entertaining match ever, because I just get to a lot of Dragon Claws that don't do a lot of damage, and they don't get to a lot of charge moves, but they do a lot of fast move pressure. So this is a matchup that you'll get well accustomed to if you do end up running this team. It's not the most exciting matchup in the world ever. And here I do decide to shield this up, and my opponent decides to give me switch and take shield, which is a really good advantage because Ho-Oh with 2 shields is absolutely deadly. Okay, so we're going for the Dragon Claw, and we should be able to get to a second one before we're taken out. But from here, I believe with that Incinerate going through, we are going to be fainted after this. Oh, actually we're not. So we're able to stay in, and they switch into a Giratina Origin. We're in an okay spot here. Dragonite has a really good matchup against Giratina Origin. We can safely tank this Shadow Ball, and we preserved our Giratina Altered in the back as a potential sack. Able to go straight for the Dragon Claw, and this applies a lot of pressure on them. And they actually decide to let it go. They're farming up more with Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh's at 100 energy. I realize my switch clock is almost up. I'm going to need to make a play to win this match. I come in Excadrill, instantly swap into Giratina, and I catch the Brave Bird. That is 55 energy, absolutely wasted. And now we're in a much better spot here. Here we actually CMP, so I am going to shield this up. And no Incinerate goes through, which is fantastic. And now I'm going to be able to win this match. Because, as I mentioned, since Brave Bird is 55 energy, they cannot hold 2. So we are able to win this game as a result. A little bit of lag there. Alright, come on, game. There we go. Able to take the match. So as you can see, in situations where my opponents actually do give me switch advantage, I do struggle. So in the future, I may avoid shielding in the secondary matchup. Another Ho-Oh and another Dialga. As you can see, this is a very, very common pairing currently. Going straight for the Dragon Claws, of course. Over-farming by just a little bit, going for a second Dragon Claw, and this should be getting them into the yellow, which it does. And here, if you notice, I actually let this go. I decide, you know what, and this is how I like to play this going forward. And then I'm actually going to Mud Shot down with Excadrill. They go for an Iron Head. I can let this go. Iron Head hurts, but I can survive this. But look at the energy I get on Excadrill. Oh my goodness, we are absolutely loaded. They have to bring in Kyogre because they can't bring in the Ho-Oh, and now I have the alignment that I want. I don't want Ho-Oh lined up with Excadrill. Now I have the alignment I want. We're in a great spot here. They're going to go straight for the Brave Bird. I'm going to shield this up. And from here, I can honestly just farm down. I'll just shield once and farm down because their defense is lowered. They're going to Brave Bird me again, so that's going to lower their defense even more. I can fully farm down and have a ton of energy to throw at this Kyogre, which really doesn't have much energy of its own. It does sneak a Waterfall through, which isn't great, but we should still be in a good spot here. I do go for the Hurricane because this will do maximum damage and will take them out if they don't shield. They do shield, quick swap into Excadrill, and that is going to be enough to take them out. And we had a spare drill run just in case it didn't. So, as you can see, that is how I would play that Ho-Oh lead Dialga counter swap matchup better than how I was playing it initially. Giratina Origin lead is very tough. In this situation, my opponent does decide to stay in, and I make a mistake. If their Giratina Origin stays in versus your Altered, that typically means they're very weak to Altered and back. So if need be, I would double shield my Altered and make them try and take you out. And I actually don't double shield, and that's going to cost me the match here. I'm like, you know what? This has to be an Ominous Wind, right? It's not a Shadow Ball. It's a Shadow Ball. Oh, no. This was one of my earlier matches, and yeah, they have a Landorus. This is not looking good. I'm going for the neutral Rock Slide. I'm like, yo, what if I catch? And they know better than that. They come in with a Mewtwo. And Mewtwo is so good, especially with shield advantage. It can absolutely shred. They hit me with the Psy Strike. And at this point, they're not even going to shield this Dragon Claw because they know that their win condition is with that Landorus. So if they just have 2 shields for that Landorus, there's not a thing I can do to beat them. So even though I farm down to try and get extra energy, they can shield one of these. They'll have more than enough energy to throw a Rock Slide before I get to a second move. And then they're going to have an Earth Power ready for my Excadrill. So what I should have done, if I 2-shielded my Giratina Altered, that would have put them in a really uncomfortable spot, but unfortunately I messed up. So let's see, as the day went on, how I can play the Giratina Origin lead better. This is definitely a lost lead, but let's see how I can do this better. Okay, when I come in with my Giratina, they bring in a Dialga. Okay, this tells me that they have 2 dragons on their team, which means they're really weak to Togekiss. So what this tells me off the start is they need to have a cover for both Togekiss as well as Ice, like Mamoswine. So it's probably Ho-Oh in the back. So I should be in a good position here. I can actually afford to give them switch advantage here. That's fine. Farm up a bunch of energy on Excadrill. So Excadrill can, and that's an Iron Head, don't have to worry about that. And Dragonite should be able to close this match. So I should be in a really good spot. Oh, we have so much energy. Energy on Excadrill is so good, guys. Oh my goodness. Drill Run, that does a lot. And Giratina Origin is fairly tanky. We're able to go for a second one. And we're able to get a shield. Now we have Dragonite in 2 positive matchups with a shield advantage. I'm going to farm down if they throw on 4, which they do not. They're actually farming all the way up to 100, so I'm going to go for the Hurricane. May as well. And if they don't shield, it's going to waste all that energy, and they don't shield. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Giratina comes out. They go for the Shadow Ball, and I'm just going to be able to 2-shield farm all the way down, and my opponent sees the writing on the wall and does concede the match. And this is a team that I saw quite a bit. Was the Giratina Origin lead, Dialga as the swap in, as the counter swap to my Giratina, and Ho-Oh in the back. And basically, their only Dragonite counter is Dialga, and you're able to bait it out. And now Dragonite with Dialga out of the way is completely able to close out the game. It's fantastic. Again, Iron Head, as you can see, I'm willing to let this go. That's something that I'm learning, is if I'm able to get extra energy on Excadrill, I'm in a good spot. Unfortunately, ooh, they might be able to get to oh, this is probably a Draco. And I didn't know counts. Oh, that's not good. So Excadrill dies, but look at Dragonite. Dragonite's going to absolutely shred here, because we have a little bit of an energy lead, but we have such a good matchup against Giratina and Ho-Oh. Alright, we are going to shield the Ominous Wind. They do go for the boost, and I'm going to throw, and they're more than likely going to try and save their shields for Ho-Oh. I'm able to farm them down. Okay, Ho-Oh comes out. Watch this play right here. So as I mentioned earlier, they cannot hold. So I'm actually farming past the max here. They can't hold 2 Brave Birds. So here's my plan. Farm to the max, throw back-to-back Dragon Claws. So long as they don't sneak and Incinerate through, I should outpace them to the 3rd Dragon Claw. Because I only need, what, a couple Dragon Breaths to get to the 3rd, whereas Incinerate's a 5-turn move. Perfect, and we're able to execute it. Their defense is debuffed, so this Dragon Claw is going to kill them, and we are able to take the win. So even though we got Draco'd, Dragonite was still able to close out against that backline. Landorus lead, this is really rough for us. We're going to instantly swap into Giratina, draws out a Zekrom. So a very, very spicy team. I believe this was maybe the only Zekrom I saw today, so... Alright, Zekrom, we're going straight for the Dragon Claw. That does not kill. They go for the Crunch. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how much Crunch did. I was like, I probably need to shield this, so I did shield it up, and I was able to farm down. See what they have in back. They do bring out the Landorus. Okay, we're still in a good spot here. Dragon Claws don't do a lot, but they should add up. And they're probably going to go for an Earth Power before I can get to my third Dragon Claw here. And there's the Earth Power that's going to take me out. Of course, I'm not going to shield, and I'm going to let Dragonite take it from here. And here, I made a mistake. Rock Slide only does 57%. I didn't have to shield this, and watch. They have a Metagross in back. Excadrill can win the 1-2 shield versus Metagross. But since I wasted my shield like a fool, I'm just going to take an Earthquake to the face and lose the match. So that was a super winnable match, but I just didn't know how much Rock Slide did, so I shielded. Alright, hopping into the next match here. Mewtwo lead. This is really not good for Excadrill either. Mewtwo is just so spammy. I'm actually going to save swap Dragonite here, strictly just because Altered is our best counter versus Mewtwo. They land a Psy Strike, and they still bring out the Dialga. Perfect! Somehow they still brought out the Dialga, and we will take advantage. Dragon Claw, that's going to put it into Drill Run range. We had a bad lead up front, so as you can see, we are waiting our clock before we come in, but this Dialga is locked in here with us. We're going to go straight for the Drill Run. I really don't want to eat an Iron Head, and Drill Run's going to be enough to take it out. Mewtwo comes back, and I'm able to catch the Psy Strike onto Giratina. So we should be in an okay spot here. We're able to catch the Psy Strike, we're able to preserve the Excadrill in back, and I am going to shield up the Psy Strike, as that would probably take us into the red. So we're able to shield it up. I'm going to build up to 2 Dragon Claws. I think it's right around Dragon Claw range. It's going to be really close, though. Okay, and ooh, one more Shadow Claw. What do they have in back? They have a Dragonite. So I believe my opponent misplayed there by keeping in their Mewtwo. They definitely should have brought in Dragonite. But, hey, if they make a misplay, I'm fully willing to take advantage. So we're able to go for 2 Dragon Claws. They really should have let those Dragon Claws through, or at least one of them, because Rock Slide's going to do more than a Dragon Claw would, and in endgame, you really want to figure out which move is going to do more to you and shield that move. One Rock Slide and the second Rock Slide, and we are able to take the game. So as I mentioned, all in all, out of the 20 games that I was tracking, I only won 7 of the leads, but we were able to win 14 of those 20 games, and I really, really liked this team. Excadrill with energy is absolutely absurdly good, and Giratina Altered is very, very bulky, and Dragonite is an amazing closer. So I really enjoyed this. This probably won't be the last you'll see of Masters Classic on this channel, as I had a lot of fun with it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I know I haven't done an analysis style video in a while, so I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're new and you enjoy this kind of content, I post this kind of content as well as spicy content as well. So definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And a big thanks to all of our members here on YouTube. You guys do help make the channel happen, so thank you so much. Yeah, so thank you to everyone as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.